Real life, you get a smack in the face from certain men, so just chill out. You lot have heard the news that JJ has left the Sidemen for reasons.
So I said in my last video that more things will come out about KSI recently leaving the Sidemen over the next week, and now properly it's been addressed by Tobi. So let's get into what he said.
For reasons, I would say personal to him, but he actually explained it all to you in the video. But he's left for his own reasons that he's disclosed, and he's made a decision that is right for him. And all the boys, myself included, we've all come to terms with that decision and we respect it. Obviously, it was a bit of a shock to us when he initially told us that we've come to terms with it, we've accepted it, and like, we get it. There comes a time in your life as a human where you have to make a decision that is right for you, or you got to end up living with regret. Let me cut the music, sorry. There comes a time in life where you have to make a decision that's right for you, or you end up living with regret. In fact, there's probably multiple times in life where you actually do just have to put yourself first.
Many people will be upset by this decision because obviously they have such a big fan base, but there's stuff like KSI now is in his 30s, doesn't even have children yet. This guy does work of insane hours of all different things he turns up to. At a certain point, like Tobi said, you have got to think for yourself. And this is a mature outlook from Tobi.
But like you said, like I said, myself, the boys, it took us a little bit to kind of process it, as it would, because this is something that we've been doing together for the last 13 years nearly. But yeah, we respect his decision, and we're wishing him all the best, and we're ready to crack on with the rest of us and get things done. Now, I've seen a lot of like negativity towards JJ and members of his team. And first of all, you know what I'm going to say about sending abuse to people. I say this every time and people go, oh, Tobi, you're too soft, rare. Fuck all that. Stop being dickheads, bro. Stop being dickheads. You don't have to abuse people to get your point across. You don't have to send people death threats or racial abuse to get your point across. Stop being a dickhead, bruv. That's not how life works. And it's easy for people because internet fingers. Real life, you get a smack in the face from certain men, so just chill out.
Obviously, one of the main reasons that KSI is leaving is to focus on his main channel, and his main channel editor mode has been around for years. He's been blamed for him leaving the Sidemen and getting tons of abuse. He had to put out a tweet and basically say to people he was nothing to do with this decision. This is how far the Sidemen audience can take it, thinking someone's to blame for it.
Now, with the news of JJ's departure from the Sidemen, didn't come out the way that I think any of us would have wanted it to. And like we said in the what do you call it, that we put, the statement that we put out, it would have been nice if we were able to do some kind of like proper farewell to actually like commemorate like the end of an era, if you will. But that's just not how the stars aligned. That's not how things happened. For whatever reasons, and we are where we are. We are where we are. Now, with JJ, I think people need to really understand what he means when he says those things. And you actually need to pause and really think about it to really get where he's coming from. I've seen a lot of people go at him because, and this is not just me like defending him to say, oh, let me defend my friend. That's my boy still. That's my day one still. That's my boy. But this is not just me saying it. This is me just trying to get people to just understand the full picture, because on socials, there's a lot of clips with minimal context and people just run with their narratives. Like, I've seen so much shit online about, oh, reasons for this and reasons for that and who's behind this, blah, 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 blah. Fuck that. People needs to really understand what it is like to be in the Sidemen, and you need to understand us as individuals. And I feel like having watched us so much over the years, you will understand us as individuals. All of you know what JJ is like. The man is aspirational, he's driven, like he has his goals that he wants to hit and the things that he wants to do. Yeah? That's what he's like.
KSI is a little bit of an enigma and hard to relate to, because many people in KSI's shoes would be content. They wouldn't start investing in a football club. They wouldn't still have goals of growing their channel. He's done everything and got all the money he can have. Still, he has these crazy ambitions. And many people, if they're making 100k per month on their own YouTube channel, would have left the Sidemen ages ago just to have a free life and spend it. KSI, when does he even have time to spend this money when he's doing so much things outside of the Sidemen?
Now, if he wasn't like that, he wouldn't be the JJ that we all grew up to know and love. He wouldn't have done all these amazing things that we give him the plaudits for. Do you get me? So just hold that thought in one mind. Hold that thought in your mind there. Just put it to the side. Remember what I said. The next thing you need to understand is the Sidemen calendar. So deep it, there's 7 of us in the Sidemen. To have all 7 of us in any Sidemen shoot means that all 7 of us have to be aligned in our calendar. That means if we're going to shoot a video this week, we all have to have the same day free, the same time free, usually, to get it done. The fact that you need to be in sync with 6 other people at any given time to produce content where you're all there means that your life then becomes so regimented around that particular schedule. So when I've seen some people say like, oh, JJ's dropped Sidemen when he could have just dropped this or he could have just dropped that, it's not, they're not equal. They're not the same level. They're not the same level. Like 3 days of Sidemen shoot is not the same as 3 days of Britain's Got Talent. Because that 3 days of Sidemen shoot is 3 days that have to be synced with 6 other people's days. Does that make sense? So when you look at it that way, all of our actual individual lives will, by proxy, revolve around the Sidemen calendar. It revolves around the Sidemen calendar. And then you put in everything else around it because the Sidemen calendar is the hardest thing to organize.
Not only has he obviously said stuff about being bigger than a Sidemen on his own channel, obviously there is a little bit of a grudge there for certain things where he wanted to pursue being bigger than Mr. Beast and they weren't backing him. The main thing obviously Tobi is suggesting here as well is that KSI has the opportunity to do whatever he wants when he wants with his own channel as well because of the calendar issue.
So when JJ said he's had to take a step back from Sidemen to give himself more time for family, right now, his life is Sidemen calendar, then family and his goals around that. Him taking a step back from Sidemen is now going to allow him to put family as the core bit of his calendar, and he can build in his goals around that, but he's never ever neglecting family. Now, remember I said he's driven. If he doesn't feel like he has a purpose, whether he's with family or not, he's not going to be himself, and I'm sure they're not going to want him to be like that. And I'm not going to want him to be like that, and he's not going to want to be like that. You get me? So the fact that he's now taken a step back from Sidemen, as much as I didn't want that, and I don't think he really wanted that either. I think he struggled with it for a long time, and you know there was talk of different ways to try and sort things, but in the end he had to make the decision. Yeah, as much as he didn't want that, that will now allow him to have his family at the center of everything and put in the shoots around things. So if you see him doing like 200 million shoots, just know that he's built that around his family and he has nothing else to devote his time to. And he's going to be his full driven KSI that, you know, we all, like I said, grew up to know and love. And like I said to you lot before, as a human, there are times in your life where you have to do what's good for you. And I can't speak too much for JJ. He's already tried his best to explain to you, and I've tried to put it across from an external perspective looking in, but understanding at the same time. Do you know what I'm saying?
This situation obviously makes the most sense for KSI in his personal life, and you have to put that before work sometimes. It's what matters at the end of the day. It just ended up being messy and miscommunication between him and the group on how it happened, and he even spoke nicely about Tobi as well. There's no love lost here.
To Tobi, I mean, everyone calls you the nicest Sideman, and it's because it's true. on and off the camera, you give each and every person respect. And I just love that about you, bro. You know, I always wondered why you hardly ever drank alcohol. So when I decided to stop drinking a few years ago, you were one of the few people that helped me throughout my sober journey. And bro, you helped me in more ways than you'll ever know. I'm so happy to see you really coming out of your shell this year. So, bro, just keep it up, man.
It seems in KSI's latest video, he's doing some sort of skit with loads of lookalikes of him, and people are saying he gave up the Sidemen to focus on this, but mainly now he has his own free schedule, not aligned with them. Tobi did give a lot of context that probably many people didn't think about, the schedule issues that they have, especially when KSI does so many things outside of his own brand and also outside of the Sidemen as well, like his football club he owns, the Prime Drink, Baller League, Misfits, etc. But people are really actually upset with KSI. Many people saying to boycott him. Just recently, KSI and Mini-Minter, as you see on your screen right now, both made a video with the footballer Eze. It's a big feature, both around a similar time, 25 and 26 minute feature. And look, Mini-Minters has more views than KSI, 800k, and KSI has 600k, which is pretty wild. And people are commenting saying, let's support the other one. People are really boycotting KSI over there. And it's all because the way it was done. People even commenting here to make sure this video has more views than KSI's. KSI leaving the Sidemen only for Simon to get more views. Poetic justice, really. Now that he's left the group, there is going to be an element of competition, especially pushed by the fans, but KSI has kind of encouraged it by saying, I want to get more views than the Sidemen.
And I'm also going to get more views than Sidemen.
He said this openly. Also, I want to get more subscribers in them, so the competitive edge is also pushed by KSI. The Sidemen seem a lot more chilled out about it.